Greetings, Jennifer, from sunny Windsor in England. Yeah, it is sunny today. It's really bright, hence the sunglasses. A couple of years ago, you said that you had a problem with your math. I'd like to help you address that, if I may. So, upcoming in a few parts are some of the really important things you need to know about math, and I hope I can be of help to you. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Kipping. I'm a mathematician, and I have been teaching on and off for the last 2 decades this subject. So I'm pretty good at it. I'd like to help you fix your problem. I don't know how bad your math really is, but if I start at the beginning and work my way through, maybe you'll be able to improve upon things, particularly if there's stuff there that you don't actually know. So I'll take you over to OBS now on the whiteboard, and we'll crack on. Right, so what I've done for you here is I've broken down all the bits and pieces that I want to cover with you into several bits, and we're going to go through them one at a time. So starting today with the essentials. Yeah, this is the mid-teen lockdown, so that's the reason my hair's a bit out of whack. Apologies for no haircut, but doesn't really matter if you're going to be looking at some math. Okay, so apologies for that. First thing is basic column addition. You should already know how to do this, but let's go through some questions. Starting with addition, what we have to do is we start on the right hand side of whatever sum we're looking at. So I'm going to add the 3 and the 4 here together, which will make 7, and the 2 and the 7 to make 9. 97 is our answer here. Next one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 1. I tell you what, why don't you have a go at these? I'm going to include an exported version of this slide on the link below. So have a go, see how you get on, pause the video, and I'll go through it. Right, so we're back. 5 plus 1 is 6. 4 plus 9, well, that's going to give me 13, so I would put a 3 down, and I'd carry 1 above. 1 plus 3 plus 6 gives me 10. 1036 is our answer there. And then the big one here, 27,689, add 43,782. Well, 9 plus 2 is 11, so put 1 down, carry a 1. 8 and 8 is 16, plus 1 gives me 17. 7 down, carry a 1. 1 and 6 and 7 makes 14. 4 down, carry a 1. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 1 down, carry a 1. 1 plus 2 plus 4 gives 7. So the answer here is 71,471. So, I apologise in advance if you think that this is too easy for you. I just have to be sure that you can do it. That's why I'm including it. I'm starting at the beginning because I don't know what you're bad at, what you're good at, but I do know that once I've covered all the content with you, you should be feeling a lot more confident than you were before, that's for certain. Anyway, addition, it's not hard, but it's worth knowing. Subtraction, let's go through this now. So get that out of the way. Say I wanted to take away 46 from 82. I would again start on the right hand side and say, well, I can't take away 6 from 2. I can cancel the 8 out and make it a 7 and borrow 10. That's what this process is called. When you cross out a number, you're borrowing 10. So 10 and 2 will make 12. 12 take away 6 we can now do, gives 6. And then 7 take away 4 gives 3. Answer there of 36. Again, if you want to stop the video and do these in advance, you're welcome, but I'm just going to go through them just so you can see how they're done. 661 minus 385. So I cannot take away 5 from 1. So I'm going to cross a 6 out here and make that 50. And borrow a 10. 10 and 1 makes 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. Then I've got to take this 8 away from this 5. Isn't going to happen. Got to cross. Whoa. Bit naughty of me there. We're not crossing that out at all. I'm crossing this 6 out and making it a 5. And this becomes 15 now, because I borrowed 10 off this 6. 15 take away 8 will give 7. And 5 take away 3 is 2. 276. Lastly, I'm going to give you this one to do here. 9 take away 2, can't do it. I can't borrow anything from this column because there's a 0 here. So I'm going to have to borrow from this column, which is 600. That will give me a 10 to put here in the next column. But I don't need the 10 in this column, I need the 10 in this column. So I'm going to have to borrow again, cutting this 10 into a 9 and making a 10 here. 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 take away 9 is 3. 9 take away 8 is 1. 6 take away 6 is 0. 7, I can't take that away from 3, so I'm going to have to borrow from this 4. 13 minus 7 is 6. And 3 take away 2 is 1. Gives me 16,013. Again, you should be fairly happy and confident with this. I'm not suggesting that you can't do it, but if you've not been through it for a while or struggle with math, and I have known adults that struggle with it, it's well worth someone just going through it. But that's the principle of borrowing in order to subtract. Next is everybody's favourite of times tables. So I recommend all of my students to know all of their times tables from 1 times 1 up to 12 times 12. Included below is a link as to where you can download pro formas for practice of the times tables, and they will look like this. I recommend getting them laminated so that you can use a dry white marker and practice on them every day until you know them inside out and back to front. So how do they work? How's the best way of using this? Well, let's go through the 8 times table here because it's one of the ones that many people struggle with. You should know that any number times by 1 is itself. So we're going to get 8. Yeah. Okay. Let's suppose we didn't know that the answer here for 2 times 8 was 16. Okay. How do I get from 8 to 16? Well, I'm going to add 8. So literally all that's going on here is addition. And if I add 8 here, and 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 add 8 here. I can generate the whole 8 times table. And all you're doing is adding to get from one square to the next. So 16 plus 8, 24. 24 plus 8, 32. 5 8s are 40. 6 8s are 48. 7 8s, adding on 8 again, 56. 8 8s are 64. 9 8s are 72. 10 8s are 80. 11 8s are 88. And finally, 12 8s will give you 96. So there's one of these proformas for each times table. Again, the right way of doing it is printing them out, laminating them, and then getting a dry white marker to do this, to learn the basics of it. And then when you've done them and you know the times tables inside out and back to front, and you should know, for instance, what 7 times 6 is, the point is you need to generate a consistency with knowing them, because all of math, all of it, is reliant upon you being able to do these tables in your head quickly. Okay? To test yourself, I'm also including these grids. So it's a good idea for you, when you feel that you're confident with them, print this out and fill it in. So a good score for one of these times table grids is 4 minutes. If you can fill in a full 12 by 12 times table grid in 4 minutes, you've got the gold standard in being able to do this. Anything less than 4 minutes, even better. Anything more than 4 minutes, you need more practice. Okay, so you should be able to know that 6 6s are 36. You should be able to know that 8 8s are 64. You should know that 7 7s are 49. You should know that 9 9s are 81. You should know that 6 9s are 54. You should know that 9 5s are 45. Yeah? All of these ones is sort of in this range are going to be the most difficult for you. But with the practice, you can fill them in. And what most people do is they just go from one side to the other like this. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, and then 36. Rinse and repeat. Do it for the 4 times table, 5 times table, 6 times table, 7 times table, so on and so on. But you should be able to recall individual numbers, so 6 8s, 48. 7 9s, 63. Interestingly enough, the way that I remember this one, 7 times 9 being 63, is with the song by the Four Seasons, What a Night, late December back in 63. So nice little tip there for 7 times 9. Anyway, I will give you these to practice and have a go at. Long multiplication. This is where we have to deal with multiplication that's a lot bigger than just the times tables. So, how do we do that? Well, Let's look at this one, 23 times 46. Okay, what I want you to do is imagine that it's two sums. It's actually 23 times 40 and 23 times 6. So let's do these two sums. 6 threes are 18. 8 down, carry a little 1. 6 twos, 12 plus 1 makes 13. Gives me an answer of 138. Then we've got 23 times 40. So we start on the right again with the 0. 0 threes are 0. 0 twos, 0. Okay, so I'm just going to put 0 because when you times 0 by any number, you will always get 0. Then we move on to the 4. 4 threes are 12. 2 down, carry a 1. 4 twos are 8, plus the 1 is 9. So I've got 920. And if I add those two numbers together, I will get my answer. So that would be 8, 5, and 1,000, I believe, 1,058. So I've done this separate to the sum here on the right, but what's normally done is for you to have some rows, which I'm going to add in now. Line style. Yeah, make those dotted lines. Okay, so let's do it again so you can see it with these lines in place. 6 threes are 18. 8 down, carry a 1. 6 twos are 12, plus the 1 gives me 13. There's the 138 that I did first. Then I'm doing this 4. Well, this 4 is not just 4, it's 40. Because I've got the 0, I put the 0 down first. 4 threes are 12, 2 down, carry the 1. 4 twos are 8, plus 1 is 9. Okay, and if I add these together, 8 plus 0 makes 8. 3 plus 2 makes 5. And 1 plus 9 is 10. Okay. So I will leave it to you as to whether you want to pause the video and have a go at this one here, 378 times 64. If you do, good luck with it, and I will come back in a moment. Right, let's have a go at this 378 by 64. 4 times 8 times tables. 4 8s are 32, so we're going to put a 2 down with a 3 next to it. 4 7s, 28, plus 3, 31. 1 down, 3. 4 3s are 12, plus 3 gives me 15. So we've got 1,512 there. Then we're dealing with the 6 here. The 6 is actually 60. So I have to put a 0 down. 6 8s, 48. 8 down. 4. 6 7s, 42. Plus 4 gives 46. 6 3s, 18. Plus the 4 here makes 22. Finally, we add the two rows together. 2 and 0 makes 2. 1 and 8 makes 9. 5 and 6 makes 11. So I put down a 1. I carry 1 underneath. 1 plus 2 plus 1 makes 4. And then 2 just comes in on its own. Gives you 24,192 there. Did you get that? I'm pretty sure that's right. 6 8s are 48, 6 7s are 42, plus 4 is 46, 6 3s are 18, plus 4 makes 22. Yep. Good. Again, I'm going to link to some resources in the video below which you can use to practice these. And good luck with long multiplication. But I think you'll find that if you really know your times tables, you're going to find long multiplication and indeed division a lot easier. So this is our last section on division in Essentials. I'm going to go through the 2 types of division, which are short and long. You probably know short, but it's worth going through it in any case. So, how do we do short division? Well, I say, does 6 go into 4? The way of thinking about that is if you have 4 dots, yeah, can I fit 6 dots into 4? The answer to that is no. There's not going to be, there's no 6's inside 4. So I'm going to put a 0 at the top. Then that 4 couples up with the 8. And I have to work out, well, 6 into 48. So I need to think in my times tables here, how many times does 6 go into 48? So say we know that 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 would be 48. So an 8 goes in at the top here because 6 goes into 48 8 times. Finally, but by no means least, we've got to do 6 into 6. Well, 6 will go into 6 once because 6 times 1 is 6. Okay, so the answer there is 81. But you see how the times tables work in this. It's exactly the same process as knowing your tables. 7 into 3 doesn't go. 7 into 34. Well, I should know that 7 4s are 28. And 7 5s are 35. So 35 is too big. We have 34. So I'm going to put 4 here at the top. Okay, because I know that 4 lots of 7 will go into 34. But then how many more is there in there between 28 and 34? So if I add on 6, I will get 34. Yeah? This plus 6 is known as a remainder. So 7 times 4 plus 6 will give me the 34. And I can get to put my 6 in here. Okay? It's carried through the sum inside the bus stop. And this is where we get the rubber again. Wow, that's better. Cool. So now I have to do 7 into 63, and that's the 4 seasons again. 7 into 63 goes 9 times, and I've got 49 as my answer. Lastly, 12 into 3,600. 12 doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 36 3 times. Because if we go through our 12 times table, 12, 24, 36. That's the third one. Yeah? And then I'm going to do 12 into 0, doesn't go. 12 into 0, doesn't go. Answer 300. Okay. So So that is short division, what I've done there. Really, that's the only one you need to know how to do. But I'm going to show you long division because why not? You need to know how to do it if it ever does come up. So, there's probably not enough room on this slide, but I'm going to try and squeeze it in. That. Let's grab those together. So let's start in with this one. 7 doesn't go into 3. 0 down. 7 into 34 we know goes 4 times. Yes? 4 7s are 28. I'm going to write 28 underneath. Now, if I draw a line here and subtract, I'm going to do 34 minus 28, gives me 6. 3 will then drop down. And I'm now doing 7 into 63, which we know is 9. 9 7s are 63. Subtract, there's a 0. So this would be with remainder 0. Sometimes if you have a remainder, you would put a remainder afterwards, but we don't need to because it's not there. But the point of this is you're writing this down a very different way than you are in the short division. Let's look at this one. 6 into 4, 8, 6. 6 into 4 doesn't go. 6 into 48 goes 8 times. 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract. 48 minus 48 is 0. This 6 will fall down. So I'm now looking at doing 6 into 6. Well, that goes once. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract. Gives me 0. So my answer is 81, but I've written it down the long route rather than the short route. Works very similarly for this last one. 0. 12 into 3600 goes 3 times. 12 into 3 goes 12 times 3 goes 36. Subtract 36 take 36 is 0. These zeros will now fall down. 12 into 0 goes 0. 12 into 0 goes 0. I'm going to do one that's unrehearsed, so to speak. So let's make a bus stop here. Let's pick a number. Let's go for 8. And we'll go for 5,392. So this is one I've just made up off the spot. Quickly do it. 8 into 5 doesn't go. So I'm now looking for 53. Okay. How many times does 8 go into 53? I need to know my times tables. I should know that 8 times 6 is 48, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for the 6 here. The 6 will go on top. 6 8s are 48. I then subtract these numbers. 53 minus 48 gives me 5, I believe. Yeah, 5. Then the 9 drops down, and I'm looking at 8 into 59. 8 times 7 is 56. 7 will go on top. 7 times 8 gives me the 56 that I've just worked out. I'm going to subtract these numbers. 59 take 56 will give me 3. 2 will drop down here. Oh, what do you know? That works out rather well. 8 into 32. Well, 4 times 8 gives me 32. So a 4 will go at the top here. 4 8s are 32. Subtract the two 32s gives me a nil balance at the bottom. So 674 is what you get when you divide 5392 by 8. But I've spelt it out in every step of the way as to how I'm breaking that down, which is literally what long division is all about. No real benefit for you knowing that. If you want to practice it, go for it. Again, there's going to be links in the description below as to pages which will have information on this, and you can print and do random examples to your heart's content with the answers given along with them. Okay, that is the end of our essentials. Those things are absolutely critical to know, especially times tables. So I would like you to practice those times tables, please. Download the PDF and the proformas and do them daily until you are confident that you know 7 times 9 is 63, 8 8s are 64, 5 8s are 40, 6 times 9 is 54, 11 times 7, 77. You need the consistency of being able to do them instantaneously like I am, and that comes with practice. And it's doable. It really is. I can work with 8-year-olds to get that, and I've worked with adults to get that as well. But you've got to really want the practice to get to that stage. Great, I'll leave you with it, and I'll see you in part 2, which will be on place value. See you in a bit.